We're now going to talk about habitat restoration on private lands. We've got wildlife biologist with us. Mike Parker, welcome to the Buck Pull.
Thanks, great to be here.
Well, why is it so important for habitat restoration on private land?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, wildlife habitat is really the key to healthy wildlife populations and abundant wildlife populations in Michigan. And if you look at landowner in Michigan, the majority of the state is privately owned. 79% of Michigan is privately owned, and as you come down here to the south where we're at now, 97% of the state is owned privately. So if we're going to address wildlife populations, the things that we're interested in, we're going to have to really have an emphasis on private lands, and we need private landowners to be involved with us to help make that difference.
All right, so what is the first step? So I'm a private landowner. I've got, I don't know, 100 acres, 20 acres. Is there any minimum? Is there 1 acre? I mean, what's the acreage minimum?
Well, you know, so there really isn't a minimum acreage from a landowner perspective. Anybody can help. You know, every little bit helps to help wildlife. For our programs, we have 4 private lands biologists in the state that are available to help private landowners. We provide technical assistance, in some cases financial assistance for some of our programs. We're generally going to look 20 acres and larger, but you know, folks can certainly call us and we can kind of get a feel for what you're interested in, and then that really lets us know how we can help you. We have a landowner's guide on our website for smaller landowners or folks, you know, happy to do something on their own but really don't know what they should do. And in this guide, it's got all sorts of information about species, about different types of habitat, how do you manage a woodlot or a grassland or a wetland, or plant a food plot, or how do I plant trees and shrubs. You know, all that information's in our landowner's guide. But folks that want to do larger projects and kind of meet our priorities, which vary by region. In southern Michigan, we're focused on grasslands for pheasants and other species that rely on grasslands. We're looking at 20-acre projects that are in areas that have lots of other grassland around them. So again, I encourage you to call your local private lands biologist and we can have a discussion with you and let you know how we can help you. As you go further north, then our emphasis changes more to deer and grouse and early successional habitat. In the UP, we're looking at deer wintering yards on private land. So again, it's going to vary where you're at, but generally about 20 acres and larger is what we're going to focus on.
So there's a lot of resources out there. There's information on the website. And do you see more and more people accessing that information, more and more people that are private landowners saying, hey, what can I do for my land here?
Absolutely. You know, our program is going really, really well right now, and one of the things that we're really focusing on is getting landowners working with their neighbors. You know, if you go out and you plant a little bit of habitat and you kind of create that island, you know, the impact on wildlife is going to be minimal. But if you can do your 20 acres and your neighbor does 20 acres and then the guy down the road does 20 acres, now you start to change that local landscape and really start to have an impact. So we really encourage folks to get with their neighbors, you know, spread the word of what you're doing, get everybody working together, and that's where you'll see the impact.
Kind of that co-op relationship of, you know, again, it's just like, okay, I'm not shooting trophy bucks on, or I'm not shooting smaller bucks on my land, but they go to the neighbors, oh, they shoot anything.
Right.
If you don't work together, it's not going to work.
Absolutely, and you know, the deer co-ops have produced great results, and now we're trying to take that to other wildlife. It's part of our pheasant restoration initiative. We're following that same model of let's get everybody working together, and together you will impact wildlife in a bigger way.
Is there anything else that people should know that are private landowners out there?
Well, again, I encourage you to check with our website. We have a lot of programs. There's information on there as far as grants, so different funding sources, and what are the details? How much land do you have to have? What can we pay for? What won't we pay for? When do you apply? When don't you apply? You know, all that stuff is on our website. But there's a lot of other programs besides Wildlife Division too. So I encourage folks to get with their local conservation district. The USDA Service Center. There's lots of great Farm Bill programs like Conservation Reserve Program, the SAFE program, the Wetland Reserve Program, lots of great programs. And other partners as well, you know, the nonprofit, the sportsmen's groups. groups like Turkey Federation and Pheasants Forever do great things for wildlife, and we try and work with them. So maybe I can provide you a habitat plan for your property, and Pheasants Forever, Turkey Federation can help you with some seed to get that program implemented in the ground.
Now, does it cost me anything as a private landowner to have you come out?
No, it doesn't. If you meet the goals of what we're looking for in our area and you're in a focus area, no, there's no charge to it. We'll come out, walk the property, help you develop a plan for it, and again, if it meets one of our programs that we have funding for, we might be able to help you with some funding too.
Sounds great. Thanks for being with us.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Wildlife biologist Mike Parker's been with us. I'm Tim Hart-Haverhill, and you're watching the Q1 Buck Poll.